We're going to talk about immunotherapy now. It's 17 minutes past 7. It all involves harnessing the body's own immune system to help it fight disease. Immunotherapy now regarded as a revolutionary cancer treatment too. However, it doesn't work, sadly, for the majority of people.
Yeah, more than half of all cancer patients treated see no benefit, with many relapsing or having significant side effects. And now a new multi-million-pound research facility wants to find out why. Our health correspondent, Dominic Hughes, has more.
Immunotherapy saved Alex's life. He was diagnosed with melanoma, a dangerous form of skin cancer, which then spread. Alex underwent a course of immunotherapy, helping his body's own defences to stop the disease in its tracks. But it was not without complications.
I'm completely clear that immunotherapy has saved my life. Without it, I would have died in 2019. It can come with side effects in certain patients. Those side effects can be a little bit difficult to manage. I wouldn't describe it as fun. I got through it. And I think one of the exciting things about the research that's going on in the field of immunotherapy is people really trying to work out how to make the treatments as effective as possible, but also as kind as possible for patients, because it's not just about treatment of the cancer, it's also about trying to maintain quality of life.
Immunotherapy is a cancer treatment full of potential, but so far its benefits have been limited. Even in melanoma, where immunotherapy is most successful, only around half of all patients respond to the treatment. This new study will initially involve around 6,000 patients, half of whom have already completed treatment and half who are just starting immunotherapy for breast, bladder, kidney or skin cancers. The study will try to identify why so many patients relapse or suffer really challenging side effects.
So what we want to achieve here, very simply, is to do better by cancer patients who can potentially benefit from immunotherapy. The purpose of this program is to take many measurements, both from tumour tissue and from blood, and over time, to better predict from the outset who should have this treatment, who should have an alternative treatment, who is at the risk of side effects.
One of the key areas of research will be trying to identify vital biomarkers, signs that tell doctors whether someone is likely to benefit from a given drug. They could help in both selecting those patients for whom the therapy is most likely to work, but also possibly open up new treatments like vaccines and cell therapies. Researchers say the project could speed up the delivery of truly personalised medicine. Dominic Hughes, BBC News.
Fascinating stuff. We're joined on the sofa by Professor Caroline Dive from Cancer Research UK. Good to see you this morning. How much do we know about why it works for some patients and not for others?
That is the challenge. I mean, when it does work, it works really well. It's revolutionised treatment for example, as you heard just now, for melanoma, where now patients with advanced melanoma, 50% of them will live for 10 or plus more years. So really revolutionary treatment, trying to instruct our own immune cells, our own immune system to fight a patient's cancer. What we're trying to find out now with the new investment from the government is exactly your question. Why does it work in up to 50% of patients who have that treatment and not in others? And to do that, we have to develop robust, reliable tests or biomarkers. And that's really what this new funding is for.
And because it's new and it has had some, as you've just said, some dramatic results, it gives a lot of hope, doesn't it? You know, you're going to go on an immunotherapy course or whatever, and sometimes that hope doesn't have any foundation, but you don't know until you've tried.
Indeed, and that's exactly why we need these predictive tests. So what we really want to be able to do is a lot of basic science and really understand by looking in a patient's tumour biopsy, looking in a tablespoon of blood as a sample, look for the molecules that give us an indication that either the tumour has really defeated the immune system and is not going to respond, or those immune cells are winning the battle against the tumour cells and the patient will experience a response to their immunotherapy. So, for example, if we look in a patient's tumour biopsy, first question is, do the immune cells actually get into the tumour? Do enough of the immune cells get into the tumour? And are they of the right quality? So it's not just how many, it's the right type. And are they in the right place? So, you know, we can study with new technology, we can study that. And we've brought together an amazing group of scientists, clinicians, computer scientists, research nurses, clinical trialists, to really try and understand the biology of the tumour fighting, the immune system fighting the tumour.
And if you join those dots via the biomarkers, between the people for whom it works and for whom it doesn't work, I guess you then take out the people risking side effects.
Exactly.
But also, can you then advance immunotherapy?
Indeed. So what we really want to do, the entire goal over the next 4+ years with this funding, is to give the right immunotherapy to the right patient in the right dose and at the right time. And what we want to be able to do is avoid giving it to patients who have actually quite significant side effects. They may be hospitalised. Medics can manage it, but would it be so much better if we use these immunotherapies much more intelligently in the future?
We've heard that it works with melanoma in many cases. What other cancers? Is it a catch-all for a cure-all potentially?
No. Some tumours really are very poor in terms of their response to immunotherapy. We're going to be studying melanoma because we do see some responses, bladder cancer, triple-negative breast cancer and kidney cancer. And there we can compare the samples from the patients who do respond from those who don't. So we need to understand that comparison to build the new biomarkers.
It is incredible, though, isn't it? If you think 20 years ago we would be saying we're essentially developed personalised vaccines for cancer, it's progressing all the time.
It is. It's transformational over the time of my career. When I first started, everyone thought it was a bit pointless studying the immune system. But, really good basic discovery science, that's how we get to be able to translate that information to something that can be really useful for patients, to give them longer lives with good quality of life.
And is this a joined up? I mean, obviously, I know you're at the forefront of it and the work that you're doing and the group that you've brought together. But is this kind of work being replicated in different places around the world? Is it a race to get to it?
I don't see it as a competition. No. I think, globally we need to collaborate. Here in the UK, we've brought together 16 academic institutions. We're leveraging the Cancer Research UK investment in its institutes, for example. We've brought together 6 NHS trusts, including the Royal Marsden and the Christie Hospital here in Manchester, 2 of our cancer-specific, the biggest hospitals that treat patients with cancer. And we've already brought in 11 biotech diagnostic private sector companies. We've also brought in more than 12 million funding, to more than match what the government is giving us to do this research. So I'm actually confident, we're all aware of what's going on around the world. Immunotherapy, there are lots of immunotherapies. Pharma are developing immunotherapies all the time. We just need to know who to treat with those immunotherapies. And we're hoping that through the studies that we're going to do in the next 4 years, we'll actually open avenues for new immunotherapies. So it's a huge programme of work. It's led by Professor Samra Turailic, we've just heard about from the Francis Crick. It's brought together the Institute for Cancer Research, the CRUK funded Manchester Institute, the National Biomarker Centre, and colleagues across the country. And I think it's research at scale, but bringing the experts across north and south, pulling it together with a huge goal and a huge challenge over the next 4 years.
Presumably that information sharing helps to ultimately complete the jigsaw, doesn't
Absolutely.
it? Thank you so much. Exciting times. Thank you, Caroline.
OK, thank you.